So I've kept this rooftop setup a secret for a little bit now. I think I just wanted to kind of really show it in all its glory, and I think the justice for this setup comes in when all of the parts are utilized together at the same time. So it's the previous setups I've run, say for example the first setup with the blade, that had a lot of convenience but at the same time had a lot of inconvenience. So now, for example, like the trip I'm about to go on, the blade would never have worked because I wouldn't be able to carry the amount of fuel I need and the amount of water I need to travel for 10 days. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where at the end of the day we had to give up a little bit of convenience and a little bit of luxury to have versatility and to be able to really turn this into the ultimate micro overlander. So the Roofrack setup now I feel like has kind of come to a point where we are maybe not necessarily really good at one thing. Like the awning, for example, now just comes out the side. We don't have that 270 degrees of shade anymore from the batwing. But the Series 2000 awning is still a really nice awning, and it still gives me a huge surface area of shade. So it's enough for me to set up a table and chairs and be able to sit and get some respite from the heat, from the sun, from the rain. So it gives me the versatility of having an awning, even though it's maybe not the best awning, you know? And I think the same thing comes down to the rooftop tent. We've gone with the Series 3 rooftop tent in the 1200 by 1200 dimensions. So you can see it fits perfectly on the roof rack. So think of that in comparison to the blade. The blade looked a bit oversized. The blade was sensational. Honestly, I got a better night's sleep in the blade than my own bed. And it was really, really nice. It was easy to keep warm because it's not as big or cavernous as the other tents, but also it was literally undo 2 clips, psh, your tent is ready for you. It's amazing. So obviously now moving to a flip-flop tent, they all require a certain amount of effort. It is definitely not as simple as a hard shell tent, and that's why hard shell tents cost twice as much. So I would say something like the Series 3 is still relatively simple to set up. It's super comfortable still, and it's, to be honest, I like the spaciousness because I can sit in there quite comfortably, especially on the 1200 by 1200. It's a little bit cramped for me, I'm a big guy, and another person, but on my own it's like my little bachelor pad. So it's really nice. I can sit and work on my laptop. I can, have plenty of space to get changed, all of that stuff up there. So that's really, really nice. I'm finding that quite cool, and I'm really excited to really take it out and test it properly on a nice proper overlanding trip. So then we've got things like, we've got the light brackets on now. So we've got all our little Osram lights on there, which is amazing. The light bar brackets, the little spotlight brackets for the work lights. And then we've also got our table bracket with a nice big table. So you can imagine, I pull up at camp, if I've got a little bit of work to do, or we're sitting down for dinner or whatever, it's pull out the table, pull out the chairs, pull out the awning, and we're ready to go. We've got a nice comfortable space. We're not skimping on our comfort. And yes, overlanding isn't always about comfort, but this build now, it's about having a certain amount of comfort and a certain amount of convenience and a certain amount of, we're dealing with a very difficult vehicle to build for overlanding travel. It's got a lot of restrictions. The chimney is really tiny, and to kind of work around that is a huge challenge. So far, it's a really balanced setup. We've got 40 liters of additional fuel. We've got 40 liters of additional water. So yes, it's heavy, but it's temporary weight. So that's not laden on the vehicle all the time. When I'm driving around town now, it's a lot less pressure because the new awning is 10 kilograms lighter. The new tent is 30 kilograms lighter. So that already is helping out so much. So the vehicle is really riding quite nicely, especially with this tent on and the suspension kit I've got installed. It balances out perfectly, and it's really quite enjoyable to drive around. I haven't had the like when with the blade with the previous suspension, it was just like it was a little bit scary. I think the new suspension would definitely handle the blade a little bit better, but it was a little bit scary. I'm feeling a lot more confident about the vehicle now. I'm not having to worry about having to put additional weight on the rear of the vehicle or whatever. It would still be nice to do a little trailer and take some of the weight off the roof, but right now I don't have a trailer. I don't have that ability. So I'm using what I have, and the Eezi Awn rack is a perfect platform to build your own overlanding vehicle, how you want it. I know people who've got 60 liters of fuel and 40 liters of water up on there. You can go wild exactly how you want it. And I think that's what's really nice. We're starting to see like how much you can actually accessorize these racks. So that's been really cool to see, and to test out all the, the different builds. I mean, we've gone from the standard roof rack with just chuck a tent on and some recovery tracks and just boom, bomb out for a weekend. Amazing. That works really, really well. We've had the hard shell tent, which I think works really well if you can get fuel stops, and if you really take care to upgrade your suspension and try, it does work. You can do it. If you're really dead set on it, you can make it work. I would maybe recommend, instead of going with the blade, going with the Eezi Awn Dart. It's just a little bit more aerodynamic, and it just feels a little bit more, it's not more compact, it's the same size inside, but it feels more compact overall. I would recommend that, to be honest. I love the blade, it looks amazing, it's everything, but the Dart is actually surprisingly good, and I think you might save a little bit of money there as well, so that's also a little tip. And then, coming to now going on trips, I'm loaded up, we're ready to go, it's awesome. And once I'm out there, you'll get to see, thank you Hardy Dars. Once I'm out there, you'll get to see the tent all set up, the awning all set up. I don't want to do it right now. I mean, this is like a courtyard, you know what I mean? It doesn't do it justice. So I'd rather wait until we're out there in the wilderness and you can really see what it's all cracked out to be. And it is gonna be an epic journey. You don't know what it is yet, and you're not gonna know until the video comes out. So you can check out on Instagram all the stories and all the posts that are gonna be going on. It's gonna be about that, so you better head over there, follow me there. Until then, you're gonna have to just wait patiently. But there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. We're going to be looking at stuff like the dual battery system and how we've installed that and all of that. That's in now. So we've got dual battery system, we've got solar, we've got a new fridge in. There's a lot of stuff that's probably going to be coming up really soon. So stay tuned. Yes, this is maybe not the longest video I've ever made, but I just wanted to show you guys and update you guys on where we're at the moment and explain some of the differences of the setup. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Subscribe, comment, and do not miss what's coming up.